Hey everyone, welcome back to another Persona 5 Fighting video. In today's video, what we are going to be doing is comparing Smoko versus Marian. I did a Smoko weapon comparison, so I'm using that data from the previous day or the day or two ago, and I'm comparing it now to a A1R0 Smoko Marian. I'm going to point this out now. My Smoko is A1. I'm going to let you know right now. Her A1 does absolutely does not provide really anything, any bonus. Maybe a 1 to 2% like overall increase. Not that big of a deal. It's honestly quite a minor difference. The biggest thing, you basically believe that this 45% or 15% for stacking up to 3 times defense decrease doesn't exist. It's a very, very small minimal difference. The biggest thing is that the Hail Summer Days heal effect now applies to all allies. That's the biggest thing. That's why I liked it. So, with that being said, I want to go over what I basically did and what I'm really comparing. What I'm really comparing is how much damage increase does my main damage dealer. In this case, it's going to be my On. Again, my On's A6. Not a big deal. Who cares? And then comparing it to overall score difference when I'm looking at the Gateway's Nightmare, specifically for Vishnu. So this is the team I ran. I ran the exact same team, exact same persona, exact same everything, besides just changing out Marian and Moko. I'm also doing compared it between using her 4-star and her 5-star, because I think it is a fair comparison between the two. So Smoko A1 R0 or Smoko A1 Maxo 4-star, but I will say you only need up to a Forge 4 to get so that you can activate. Right here, I'm going to let you guys know right now, just so you can activate her Power of Memories, just so you can get the 70% side damage bonus and the 2100 HP. That's all you need. All you need is Forge 4, and of course, running that with a HP recovery moon. And then Marian is A1R0. I will tell you guys right now, A1R0 Marian, because I believe A1R0 is completely free to play friendly right now if you picked up Marian in the first place. Because of the fact that we were giving a free Marian dupe essentially with the Thief Cognitive Shard, and we were giving a free Marian weapon at the start, or what was it? At the end of Courts or during Summer Closer patch, right? I believe we got both of those, or we got the weapon by then, right? If I remember correctly. So we got both of those for free. And then also with the fact that Marian is going to be a future standard banner character, like probably around that January, I think it's pretty fair. But before I really get into it and get into the map side of things, if you guys do me a huge favor and like the video and subscribe down below, it does do me a huge favor, and it does help me motivate me to keep playing these videos, etc., especially with the fact that how long these videos take. This Marian testing took 2 more hours on top of my probably 4 hours of Moko testing the other day. Just do the variety of doing things. And then, of course, I want to point out kind of how I did it. I did 5 runs of Smoko 4-star, Smoko 5-star, and 5 runs, if you look at sheet 2, of of Marian A1R0. That's what I did. So let's get into things. But let's look at the overall numbers. So as you can see here, I did 5 runs of A1R0 Smoko, A1 4-star weapon Smoko, and then A1R0 Smoko Marian. I did 5 runs of everything. As we can see here, this is where I did all the comparison. So this is where I got all my final averages. My average across 5 runs was about 38.5 million for 4-star Moko. 5-star weapon Moko was 40.3 million, and then Marian was a 37.9, so almost 38 million average. But this is also including, if we look over here, I had a run where I only scored 34 million. That's just due to variance. It happens. And if I were to take out that run, because everything else is around that 38 to 39 million mark, it goes from a 37.9 to a 38.8, so about a 900k difference. Not that big of a deal, but I did take account for that when I was doing my math down here. So here's the overall difference. Not much. So between Marian A1R0 and Moko 4-star, again, Moko's A1, not that big of a deal. You can maybe take away another percentage, like add a percentage towards it. But what I did was I took my Marian score and I divided by my Moko score. just to keep it fair. Just to keep it fair. So Marian did about 91% or 98.5% of what Smoko did overall, about average. And the biggest difference, of course, being, well, it's honestly the skill 3. It feels like Marian is giving overall more team-wide damage, while Smoko is more towards one character difference. So Smoko helps your main character a lot more is what it feels like. And that's just to do with how her buffing works as compared to her debuffing. And then Marian buffing works a lot better for overall team-wide damage. But if you're looking at hyper carry, I'm gonna be looking at Smoko. And then, so overall, it was, if you're looking at the 4-star, like with both runs, it's either 98.5% or about a 1-to-1 ratio. So I can almost say that 4-star Smoko, like 4-star weapon Smoko, is about on par with Marian A1R0. Very, very close overall for when I'm looking at a buffing wise and increasing team damage wise. While 5-star, as we can see here, she performed about between a 4 to 6% worse overall. Or if I just do this divided by this, we can see here 6% difference, 6.3, 6.4, and then this divided by this, about a 4% difference. So overall, like I said, about 4 to 6% difference between her 5-star when she has her 5-star weapon, so R0. That is the biggest differences. So overall, from what I'm seeing here, is that Smoko is a better team-wide buffer, like for your hyper carry. And we already knew that, technically speaking, when we actually go in and look at the differences. So when I'm looking at the differences between Marian and Smoko, the biggest differences is the fact that, for one, Smoko's buffs and debuffs, so she gives a lot of a damage bonus on her skill 2 as well with attack bonus, about 30% on average when you also include the fact that she ailment accuracy and the 25% given to it. And then when you also look at Sparkling Memories, where it gives a 19.5% damage bonus on foes taken. When you combine both of these and the fact that they're always up, always and ever, she provides a lot of damage bonus. She also provides a lot more team-wide damage, no matter how small or large it is. That is a difference maker in it, of course. But she also has a free heal like Mona does. She will basically be doing her resonance heal every single turn. And when I actually look at the numbers, on average, she does about a 6,300 to a 7k heal. With my numbers, of course. You will see different, and then her first heal doesn't matter. Her follow-ups ones are the ones that do matter, I will say. So she's basically full healing between that, and you also include your Hail Summer days with it, which, like I said, heals 2 targets. So once here, and then once with the Summer Soothing Ways. And then, when I'm looking at Marian only has raw throughput healing. She has no damage bonus here or attack or anything on her either skill 2 or skill 3. Where her damage bonus comes from is, for one, health comes first. After Marian, Minami heals an ally, increases that ally's damage by 50%, and it actually goes up to 30% when you have 5 stacks of blessing, but you of course need 5 stacks of blessing in the first place. 2, she gets a pierce rate bonus to provides the allies when healing above max HP, of course, on her A1, which again, like I said, A1's pretty easy to get because she's going to be standard character in the future, probably come around January. And then 2, if you have her weapon, when spending Diagnosis, or basically when you need to use skill 3, she gives a 25% party damage bonus. But I want to point out, this only lasts for 1 turn. Her health comes first, only lasts 1 turn. So if you're not healing every single action on her, you will lose this. While Moko, like I said before, she provides this all the time because you're always using skill 3 and skill 2 into skill 2 and skill 3. So you always have this 19.5%, and you always have this 30% plus your 30% attack bonus. Always, always, always. And like that's kind of where the major difference is. And then also I want to point out that she also increases your main targets of your Hail Summer days by 1800 health, while Marian provides a lot more raw HP, I will say. So Peace of Mind gets 1500. Her Thief Tactics once it's fully leveled up. Let's go check it out because you should be looking at that. Where's my, you know what, let's just do that. Provides 23, 26 HP right there. And then you also got an additional 2100 here. So 21, 20, she can provide up to at one point 36, 6100 HP. So she is a better overall survivability pick, I will say. If you're looking for a healer that will full heal your teammates every single turn, provide a bunch of max HP, Minami is there for you. Marian is there for you. Also gives you about 50% damage bonus at a time, or up to. Minami is your girl. But if you're looking for a raw throughput healer who does it at A0, also provides a bunch of damage bonus on top of that with defense decrease and everything across the board, I think A0 Moko is perfectly fine. She will do the job for you. Like I said, she's on par with A1R0 Minami. And Minami at A1R0 provides the max amount of buffs. None of her awarenesses does anything more. No, nothing. No damage bonus there. No damage bonus there. Nothing there. Yeah, of course you can say A6 gives your restores a knocked out ally. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That does not provide any damage, which is what we're kind of looking for in our healers when we're looking at Guild Boss and SOS, because we're just looking for raw straight throughput healing. Damage bonus. That's what we're looking for. And more specifically on Guild Boss, when we have weeks where it tells you, hey, bring a sustainer. So either bring a defender or bring a healer with you. Is on Guild Boss. Well, SOS, there are times where you just need to bring a healer because your team will just die. Or when we're looking at our future gameplay content, which is Astrolab. So, like I said, if you're looking for a raw throughput healer, Marian. If you're looking for a damage buffer, like a team-wide buffer for your team, or damage, I would say Moko is really, really good. She is perfectly fine at A0. Like I said, her weapon is only about a 4 to 5% increase overall. But of course, that works for every single team you put her on. I want to say that. But you also don't need either of them, if you want my honest opinion. Luful will do a fine job healing, because he also has the AoE heal. Of course, the other two will provide more healing, but he will do fine. He also provides a attack bonus. And then we also have Morgana. Morgana is a great throughput healer. He will full heal your team like every single round too, just like Moko does. But if you don't like either of them, I think Moko's a very good pickup. But like I said, Marian will probably be getting a rerun, maybe on Mesa, I would imagine. If not, then we're getting Marian on standard come January, sometime in January, I will say. But I think I'm going to end the video there. I hope you guys have a good day, good night. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.